I've been thinking a lot about Stranger Things the last 3 months. The show had such a long gap between season 3 and 4 that some fans, including myself, had guarded expectations. Instead, we experienced one of the most popular and profound TV events in the streaming era. This includes, in my opinion, the greatest episode of television I've ever seen, episode 4 of Volume 1.
It's right here, I got it. Go. Now!
They can't help you, Max.
Don't you wish that the show's creators, the Duffer brothers, would just phone it in once in a while, like the rest of us? But besides the overwhelming intensity of Season 4's discoveries, I've been floating on the surface level of what makes this show so intoxicating. Nostalgia. Welcome to a podcast called Least Important Things. I'm your host, Luke Ferris. Nostalgia has been a much debated topic in pop culture and entertainment over the past decade. You can read countless think pieces, research, and rants about why nostalgia is so popular in the media and whether it's a good or bad thing. But you cannot deny nostalgia's power in our subconscious, especially while we're consuming and creating entertainment. Just take Stranger Things. The show is a nostalgic homage to 1980s cinema, the boom of franchise, pop culture, horror, sci-fi, and action-adventure. From Stephen King to E.T., Stranger Things is oozing with themes of the creator's childhood. You can even watch videos of them breaking down these references.
We were always talking about Stephen King and why his books resonated so much with us. And one of those books, of course, was Carrie. And Carrie, of course, you have a high school girl who has these amazing powers and these amazing abilities.
Even the adult leads of Stranger Things have publicly commented how strange it is to play grown-ups in a period they were actually kids.
And you have actors who were the kids during the time it's set in.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have a sense of nostalgia when you're in the makeup, the hair, because I'm a kid of the 80s too. I remember that as a tiny kid.
I mean, I have a natural sort of nostalgia because I mean, what year's Beetlejuice come out? 87?
87, I think.
Yeah. So I'm like literally, I probably would have gone to the movie theater. I wouldn't have gone. Hopper wouldn't have gone.
Well,
but maybe 11 would have like begged him to take her to the theater because she wanted to see the new Tim Burton movie.
Stranger Things has been easily one of my favorite shows over the last half decade. If I ever have kids, I would want to watch this show with them. So let's break this down. My kids would be watching a nostalgic show I consumed in my 20s that was made by dudes in their 40s, in a nostalgic homage to 1980s cinema when they were kids. Just like Indiana Jones, Star Wars, and Halloween was a homage to the pop adventures and horror classics in the 1950s, like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, which were sourced from biblical times and biblical stories that were sourced. Do you see how far the rabbit hole goes? Nostalgia reminds me of an audio feedback loop. This happens when your input, in this case a microphone or a guitar, gets too close to the actual audio source it's making, a speaker or an amplifier. And typically the sound is pretty jarring. The closer you are to the original source, the closer you are to having the sound totally go haywire. Using nostalgia can be a risk. If you keep going back to it, the audience might just view it as more noise. It isn't new. It's a part of who we are as storytelling creatures. There's a reason Jane Austen adaptations are still getting made in 2022. Take the adaptation Persuasion, starring Dakota Johnson, that came out on Netflix this past year. One of my favorite moments of the movie is actually a meta commentary of our world into the Jane Austen world, but also shows how Austen's work is timeless and still connects with audiences today.
The first note he passed me in church. The playlist he made me.
We are obsessed with drawing from the past to make sense of the present. If you read scholarship about nostalgia, the actual word is connotated with a sense of joy, and the past can serve as a comfort because it's complete. There's no fear of the future. I think where nostalgia creates tension is when it's used by studios and corporations for financial gain. Until we get something like this.
Let's turn and burn.
Fanboy, you see him?
Nothing on the radar up ahead. He must be somewhere behind us.
But it's the price we pay as a consumer. For every Top Gun Maverick, we're going to get a terrible Point Break remake. And for every Stranger Things, we're probably going to get a Munsters movie from Rob Zombie.
Is Herman Munster in there?
So be careful about jumping on the extremes of reactions to nostalgia content. Nothing is new under the sun, and that's not a bad thing. Creating is a part of sourcing what is from the past, looking to the future to create something new. Take Jordan Peele's most recent feature, Nope. Now, this can easily get into a slippery slope of film school essay topics if we bring up Nope. But for our nostalgia discussion, Nope shows that you can source nostalgic iconography like the first moving picture, a Western hero, or a UFO to build something that stands on its own and plays with the audience's own nostalgia. It's hard to see through the bad reboots and remakes and legacy sequels to see how nostalgia is actually a good thing in all types of creative work. And when it's done well, we all get that love and feeling. We're all living in a nostalgic feedback loop. Let's use our clicks, dollars, and downloads on creativity that sources the best from the past and present while pushing to a better future. Just like a lead guitarist in a rock band, sometimes a feedback loop can lead to something beautiful. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get another scene like this.
Prissy, this is from you.